Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have it all, while others can barely get by? This is something an important economist, David Ricardo, thought about. And I think for his time, he had a pretty advanced understanding of how cities work. Is it just a matter of working hard? Or is there something else going on? Like the characters in the Decameron, just running off to the countryside to enjoy life doesn't really solve the problem. In fact, millions of people around the world work tirelessly and yet remain trapped in poverty. It's like the story of Bertoldo. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't change his situation. Is the system itself rigged to benefit only a few, leaving everyone else behind? Like some kind of modern-day three-card Monte, where only the dealer can win. Let's dive deep into this question and find out who's really benefiting from the world's resources. Like Da Vinci studying the human body, let's study the body of the economy. Back in the 1800s, an economist named David Ricardo warned us about this. Ricardo, a really important thinker of his time, spent a lot of time trying to understand how the economy works and how resources are shared. His theory of rent is one of his most important contributions to economics. He believed that as the population grows and the economy develops, land prices naturally go up. Ricardo argued that this isn't just about supply and demand, but something much deeper, rooted in how society and the economy are structured. As more and more people move to cities, urban areas expand, demand for land explodes, and prices skyrocket. Kind of like what happened in Italy after World War II during the economic boom, when people from the south moved north, causing cities to become super crowded. Even if landowners don't do anything to improve their land, its value keeps going up because of things like population growth and economic development. Think about abandoned farmland that suddenly becomes prime real estate for a shopping mall or new houses. Ricardo saw that this increase in land value doesn't benefit everyone, but instead makes a small group of people richer. The result? A small group of landowners becomes super rich, simply because they control this limited resource. These landowners haven't really done anything to help society or improve people's lives, but they make huge profits from rising land values. This concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a few creates massive inequality and makes the economic system unfair. Think about those real estate tycoons of the 60s and 70s who made fortunes through real estate speculation. Ricardo thought this was unfair and inefficient, and he argued for a system where the benefits of land ownership are shared more equally. He suggested redistributing the income from rising land values to benefit everyone in society. Even though this idea was radical back then, it influenced many modern economic theories and is still relevant today in discussions about economic fairness and how wealth is distributed. Kind of like the idea of public good, which is becoming more and more important in public discussions in Italy. Folks, land is like the air we breathe, the water in our rivers. It's essential. So, access to land is super important for all of us. But what happens when this essential resource is privately owned? What does it mean to buy and sell land these days? The truth is, buying land often traps people in a cycle of debt. It's like being chained to a heavy ball and chain. People spend years, sometimes their entire lives, paying off loans and interest. It's like a constant drain, a never-ending bleed. This only benefits a small group: banks, so-called investors, lenders, and landlords. Meanwhile, the people who buy homes struggle under the weight of debt. It's like the story of Toto and Peppino trying to break free from the loan shark. It's time to ask ourselves, is this really ownership, or is it another form of economic control? Is it a way to transfer wealth from everyday people to a powerful few? It's kind of like Pinocchio and the story of the fox and the cat, isn't it? Big companies, real estate firms, landowners, and wealthy investors are buying up tons of land all over the world. And local communities, the people, who have always depended on this land, are finding themselves cut off. This land privatization makes it impossible for them to grow food, raise animals, run businesses. So, taking the land away really hurts the whole economy. Whoever controls the land gets to control land prices, food prices, house prices, and the prices of all the natural resources that come from the land. They're holding the whole economy hostage with their demands. Think about the cost of living crisis. Isn't this kind of like the story of Mussolini, but on a global scale? This concentration of land ownership in the hands of a few has devastating consequences for equality and sustainability. Part 5. The price of existence. Paying for what's already ours. Imagine having to pay to breathe the air or drink water. Sounds crazy, right? What if I told you we're already paying for things that should be free? It's true. We're forced to pay for land, and just like air and water, land is a natural resource. Yet in this craziness, we readily accept it. We accept paying for land, which, like oxygen, is essential to our survival. Land isn't just dirt. It's the foundation of our existence. We pay for the ground beneath our feet, for every step we take on this planet. From birth, we're conditioned to accept that land is owned and has a price, as if someone invented it. The space our houses occupy, the places where we build our homes and communities. Think of the shanty towns in Rome. They exist because people need a roof, a house, and a piece of land. And the land that produces our food. Every bite we eat comes with a cost. We pay for what nature provides freely, like the produce from our gardens, which tastes completely different. It's an economic system that commodifies something that should be a basic human right: access to land. This unreasonable and terrible system affects not just individuals, but communities, the environment, and countries struggling to escape crises. Like the 2008 economic crisis, land rights demonstrations clearly show that people are fighting for what is rightfully theirs. Land is life, and without it, we cannot survive. Just like our writer Virga said in his novel I Malavolia, imagine a world where access to land isn't restricted by real estate speculation, where everyone can enjoy natural resources freely. That's the world we once had, a world of millennia of harmony and peace, and it's the world we must strive for. A world where we can enjoy the beauty of the Dolomites without thinking about the price of admission. Part 6. Trapped in a cycle of inequality. At the heart of this inequality lies the unfair privatization of land and its resources. Marginalized communities struggle to access fertile land and essential resources, while a privileged few accumulate vast amounts of land and wealth. This gap not only fuels poverty, but like a modern Pandora's box, breeds resentment and despair. This system is not only unjust, but it's also unsustainable. The concentration of wealth in the hands of a few creates a vicious cycle, like a snake eating its own tail, where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Social mobility decreases, and many face insurmountable economic barriers. Lack of access to quality education, healthcare, and decent jobs that can provide a good life, perpetuates this inequality. As the gap between rich and poor widens, social unrest and instability inevitably follow. Protests and demonstrations become the voice of those left behind, expressing their frustration and powerlessness. Economic inequality doesn't just affect individuals, it corrodes social cohesion like rust on steel, weakening trust in institutions. The climate crisis adds another layer of urgency, as land grabs for resource extraction and monoculture farming accelerate environmental destruction. Deforestation and soil degradation not only worsen climate change, but also displace entire communities, further exacerbating inequality. Competition for natural resources intensifies, and land conflicts become more frequent. It's like a pressure cooker about to explode. We need a new economic system, one that prioritizes people and the planet over profit. Sustainable agriculture and community-based practices, such as urban gardens or farming cooperatives, can offer effective solutions. By empowering local communities and promoting equitable resource management, we can create a more just and sustainable future. It's time to break the cycle of inequality and build a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. A world where we no longer cross the river by feeling the stones, but look ahead with hope. Part 7. Breaking the chains, abolish land speculation. One solution is to abolish land speculation. This means stopping people from buying land just to hold on to it and watch its value go up, like playing the stock market. Instead, land should be used for productive things, like building homes, growing food, or protecting nature, just like the botanical garden in Padua. By removing speculation, we can make land more accessible and affordable for everyone, much like how medieval villages provided protection for all its people. Part 8. A fairer future. It's time to rethink ownership. The privatization of land is a system designed to take advantage of most people. More precisely, this process can be seen as a way to take wealth from people and give it to a small group of powerful landowners. Let's first define what land privatization means. This refers to transferring land ownership that used to belong to everyone, or the community, into private hands. At first glance, this might seem like a good way to encourage investment and economic growth. However, it's important to analyze its impact on society and the economy. Privatization often leads to a concentration of land ownership. A few individuals or companies acquire large areas of land, while the local communities, who have historically relied on this land for their livelihoods, are deprived of resources. This not only harms the local economy, but also weakens the community's culture and identity. For example, think about the situation in southern Italy, where land ownership is concentrated in the hands of a few, and has historically created economic and social inequality. In addition, privatization can lead to the overuse of natural resources. Landowners, driven by profit, may prioritize large-scale production and exports over local needs. This not only increases economic inequality, but also has damaging effects on the environment, like the uncontrolled cementing of the coastline in some parts of Italy. It's important to highlight that land privatization doesn't happen in isolation. It's often accompanied by government policies that favor the interests of powerful groups, so that today, as in the latifundia era of the past, they don't pay taxes on millions of hectares of unused land, while the voices of affected communities are ignored. The lack of access to land and basic resources perpetuates a cycle of poverty and dependence. In short, land privatization can be seen as a mechanism, a machine that extracts wealth from people and redirects it to a small group of landowners. To build a more just and sustainable future, we must promote policies that protect community rights and ensure fair access to land. These new systems must prioritize the collective well-being and make sure everyone has access to a piece of land if they need it to thrive, just like the spirit of mutual support that has always characterized agricultural cooperatives in certain areas of Italy. Part 9. It's time to speak up. The current system only benefits a few, while most people lose out. We have to demand change. One simple and effective solution is to tax unused land. Right now, landowners and speculators with lots of empty land pay almost nothing in taxes. To be precise, they pay only 1 Boliviano per year per unused plot of land. It's this ridiculously low tax that allows them to hold on to land without any financial pressure. But if we were to introduce a tax of $200 per unused plot of land per year, this would encourage landowners to develop their land, or at least put it on the market, creating a surplus in the supply of unused land. There are millions of acres of unused land in Bolivia and in other parts of the world. This tax would not only generate revenue for local governments, but it could also be used to fund and improve community infrastructure, and even to eliminate other taxes that are harmful to entrepreneurs. Furthermore, taxing unused land would discourage speculation, as owners would have to consider the cost of holding on to unproductive land. Implementing this measure could be a key step in regulating the real estate market and promoting fairer, more accessible housing development. In short, taxing unused land is an effective strategy to eliminate real estate speculation and promote a more equitable urban environment. Real estate speculation is a major factor contributing to increased poverty in many communities. When housing prices are artificially inflated, people are forced to spend a large portion of their income on rent or mortgages, limiting their ability to invest in other areas of their lives, such as education, healthcare, and starting businesses. Eliminating real estate speculation can create a more fair and just playing field for everyone. It would allow people to access housing at affordable prices, giving them the opportunity to open artisan workshops, cultivate the land, and raise livestock. Being able to own their own homes without the burden of exorbitant prices would encourage self-sufficiency and the development of local economies. Furthermore, reducing pressure on the real estate market would create an environment conducive to the growth of small businesses. Local shops and businesses would not only boost economic development, but also strengthen the social fabric of communities, fostering cooperation and mutual support among neighbours, just like the best traditions of our country. In short, Combating real estate speculation can not only fight poverty, but also create a wide range of opportunities for people to prosper. We must challenge the status quo and fight for a more equitable and just system of land ownership. Let's speak up and create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Thank you for watching our analysis. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments.